Welcome to I Love My HBCU ? The podcast where we express our undeniable love for HBCUs, but where we are also not afraid to address a few tough questions. So, sit back, learn a little, love a lot, and rep your HBCU. Welcome, everyone. Oh my gosh. On this episode of I Love My HBCU ? I have family in the house today, and I'm going to try to stop beaming from ear to ear consistently. I have known this amazing gentleman. I'm not good with numbers, so I don't know how long, but I've known you, Lord have mercy, for easily double digits now. He is, gosh, he's gonna talk about himself in a second in the most pleasant of ways. But I like to brag on him as an Emmy Award winning host. I'm gonna go with Keyshawn Forbes, even though the entire universe knows you as King Flexxa. Keyshawn, welcome.
Doc, thank you for having me, Dr. T.
How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you for having me on this platform. You know, anytime that it got something to do with HBCUs, I'm there at the front. So thank you for even allowing me and considering me to be on your most exquisite platform.
I appreciate you for being here. When you tell me that my platform is exquisite, I am consistently reminded of this beautiful, shiny object that you have, that you earned not too long ago after years of a lot of hard work and deserved accolades.
Mhm.
Tell us about this Emmy Award winning hosting duties that you've been doing, and tell us about the show.
So, yeah, Emmy Award. It's still, and Doc, you gotta understand it. It's still like it's the poof moment because, like, when you're a kid and you really have honed into who you're supposed to be or your purpose from a young age, and we know that as kids, you know, it's okay to be a scrambled egg where you're like, you don't really know, you're just explorative and you're just going about life on what your soul kind of clicks to. And me, I've always been aware that me with people is just a thing. Like, I can't, that's why quarantine, and we'll get into it, quarantine 2020, I almost lost my mind, but I actually took the time to listen to God and be like, okay, we're sitting down for a reason. Let me find that was a crazy time in a great way too. But the Emmy is something that you don't even think when you're an artist or talent. Yeah, those are the goals, but when you're a true artist, it's not about the hardware or the recognition, it's about the actual art and the craft. So because my mindset has always been, it's not about the outcome, it's about the process, then as the blessings just come, you just gratitude, but you just like to stay in motion. So the Emmy really did come out of nowhere, but it didn't, if that makes sense. Like, all the hard work, like you said, since I was born, pretty much, because this isn't a profession to me. I'm really being myself, like, all the time, not some, not majority, all the time. And I've figured out a way naturally to make the room understand that it is beneficial for all parties involved to kind of move the table, Doc, this way, because I just know where I'm going. I've always have, and the Emmy does prove that. But it doesn't stop, like, the hunger. If anything, getting the Emmy, it just, for a person like me, my thought process, it's just fuel all over again. Like, okay, it's not sit back and, oh, I'm the man. I mean, I just look at it as those are always constant reminders on the hustle, the drive, the grind. Like, now you got to Emmy. Like, I've never seen it in real life until now, having one, and just even holding that, and you held it, Doc, when we ran into each other at Morgan during the summer, and you held it. It got weight to it now.
It does.
Doc, it got weight to it.
It does.
So it does make you go, wow. Like, I got one of the 4 letters, the EGOT. You know, I got the first letter out of it. So now we just got to get the GOT. I'll say that again. We just got to get the GOT. We got to get the GOT. The GOT is the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. And
Absolutely.
and if God have it be in my deck of cards, I'm gonna figure out a way to earn those things, not just given, but earn, you know? So
I
it,
said something before we hit
yeah,
record. I said something not jokingly. I said that you will be the next Kevin Hart. And
hey,
for anyone listening
take
to me, let me quickly explain what I mean. The Kevin Hart that I have observed, and that many of us who chose to pay attention observed from a couple of decades ago, was the guy who, from DC to Baltimore to Philadelphia, was literally, I know your generation calls it hustling. I just call it working hard. I
yeah,
just call it outworking everybody else
hmm,
within your passions, but not making it look like work.
right.
And that's what I've always known and observed in you.
Thank
And
you.
it's why whenever I think of your name and hear of your name, it comes with a genuine smile of pride
Oh, that's love.
that, listen, all of his hard work, guys, because what do they say? Hard work and consistency, you are going to bear the fruits of your labor. So, as much as I know you are not wearing that Emmy Award on your shoulders so proudly, we're bragging.
Man,
Okay. We are bragging.
that's what it's about, Doc. See, that's what it's not for me. Like, yes, I'm the one with it. I've earned it, but I'm telling you, Doc, the way my heart is set up, I can't even act against it. It's for the whole community, the whole village of anybody that I've ever interacted with, because I'm a true believer of every interaction can count. Like it can mean
Yes.
some,
Oh,
you
I
know,
like
like every
that.
interaction. So I've been that way since elementary school. And what I'm finding is as I'm earning stuff like an Emmy and just doing all these great stuff, is the more I seek counsel from my mom and my dad
Hmm.
from a yo, how was let me see the tapes. Let me because I want to match up like, yo, I didn't become this. I'm still little Keyshawn from Brooklyn, New York. I still, no matter where I went in the world and hostings and all these different big stages and platforms, but that's little Keyshawn in the house running around antagonizing my siblings. Like, but it made sense because I always say, yo, just let me find my way. I'm the middle child.
Yeah.
You know the middle
Yeah.
child syndrome.
I am
We got
too.
when you all come on, Doc. You know the
I
we
understand.
just stuck right in there and got to figure it out. We wiggle, you know.
Absolutely.
So
We
this and my
wiggle well, though. You and
we
I
wig
wiggle well.
that's why mom's my wiggle did have some turns and bumps and like, you know, giving my mom a hard time type of stuff. But she always saw through all of that spider and said, no, but this is a good kid. Like he's gonna be one of
Absolutely.
my mom always believed. My mom was like, no, but he does give me the most talking. But look, she's every other day in this day and age, she's like, I'm so happy that I just let you explore the way I let you explore.
I haven't met your mother. I
Oh,
hope I get
you
to
ain't
meet
met
your
Paulette?
mother.
You ain't met Paulette?
I have not met
So
Paulette yet. I'm
let's
going to
do that.
call her Miss Paulette. You
You can
get to
call her
call her Paulette. I'm going to call her Miss Paulette. Okay.
I call her my guardian angel, for real.
I haven't met her
Yeah.
yet, but the reason why I'm globbing onto your mentioning of your mother and how you just described her impression of you, my impression of you is this perfect gentleman. And I want to ask, you see, even the look on your face is like, really,
See,
really,
yo,
really?
my grin tells it all, Doc. Like it's up to no good. You know what I'm but Doc, but what I realized, let me amplify with you. I ain't trying to cut you, I'm trying to
Sure,
magnify.
no, go ahead.
Doc, what I realize is that when you really, really understand your traits that you possess, that yes, they can fall into negative and bad type of dealings. When
Mm,
you realize that those same traits, if you just channel it the right way, you could become one of the ones.
mm,
So
mm.
of course, I was the best at being bad. So I just said, why not be the best at being good? So
Why not be the best at
and I'm
being
nah,
good?
and I'm thankful to God that He really did spank me early in my life
Yeah,
when I was a teenager, so that I
yeah,
could say, okay, second chance at like life for real. Yo,
yeah.
I can't make it's never gonna happen. Like the window's closed. This is it. You're through the window. You made it past all the other debris, and now what are you gonna do with it? And look, here we are.
The Keyshawn Forbes that Tosin got to meet walking the halls of Morgan State University was a gentleman always to me. That's the
Hmm.
only one I can speak
Well,
on.
good. Keep that vision.
I'm going to.
Keep
I
that.
am going to. I am going to, that's the
'Cause
vision I'm.
I was a tyrant. My dad would say when I was 3 years old, my dad would say that I would just, he said, you were the baddest kid I ever met. And I've been around so many kids and you were the baddest kid and you happen to be my kid. But I loved you so much because I would just walk past a coffee table with, shiny figure, the parents' figure and just swipe it, doc, for no apparent reason. But so they was just like, okay, maybe he does have ADHD or those kind of, and for real, but
Mhm.
he's such a joy to be. It's not the ADHD where you have to attend to it and be more of this. Instead, I'm coming in rooms and I'm taking over and I'm 5 years old. And
Wow.
I just realized like, oh, if I continue to, and it's genuine though. So I'm like, so I could probably make a career out of being genuinely myself and just wrap energies
Mm.
around. I'm like, you don't lose that way. My soul is still intact.
That's you.
The business I'm in, there's so many soulless people. I could see right through it in the eyes. And the number one thing I thank God for that I still have this far in my journey, Emmy and all, my soul's still intact.
I
Not,
love it.
I take my time. Ain't nobody
I
gonna
love
rush
it.
my pace. My pace is my pace.
I love it. I love it. This is about to be fun with you. I bless people. Even I'm judging myself for using bless consistently at this point, but this is what I say. I bless people with a rapid fire segment,
Please,
67 seconds.
wrap it.
Why do you think I call it 67 seconds instead of 60 seconds?
Because of Morgan State, 1867, probably.
I love you. I
It
love
gotta be
you.
beer pride. Beer pride. Don't play with me. No, it's beer pride. I rep that. But Doc, can I jump in and just tell you why?
Please,
I
please,
don't even think
please.
you know why I rep Morgan so hard. Like
Let's hear
I
it.
don't think nobody knows until they know this story.
Go ahead.
I got accepted to Morgan. The acceptance letter came 3 days before my final court date of a situation I was handling in Brooklyn.
Wow.
That's it. So people, see, you would never think, gentlemen, yes. And Morgan, my lawyer said if you don't get that, because I told them it goes crazier. Months before, when I was involved in the energies, which I talk about it in my book, which is the HBCU book at that King's Connection. You'll hear about it. I'm an author as well, so
You're everything.
hey, aren't we
EGOT,
all?
remember? EGOT.
We got to get the God. We got to get the God. Few months, Doc, when I got into the situation, the only thing that saved me from not going to jail for 30 days until my next court date to handle this situation that I got myself into, the lawyer, the legal aid, let me say legal aid specifically, because this was appointed by the city, the government, whatnot. Not I paid them money. This is just somebody that has a docket of a running list sheet of just Black and brown people mostly that are in trouble in a situation, and they just got to come and see it. Tell me something that could try to get you out tonight, because I'm like, okay, I'll go to church. You know, when you start coming up with the most, like, most heavenly, look, I go to church every Sunday. I did. So I was just starting to get real, like all the stuff that I do that are good. But she was like, it's not enough. Of course, back then, I don't know. I'm 16, 17 years old. I don't know that me saying I go to church doesn't keep me from jail.
No.
But she goes, no, you have to give us something else. So I said, and all I had was like 3 minutes with this lady behind a glass situation. And my future, I'm 16, 17 years old. And I'm just like, that I made a mistake, but it's not me. You know what I'm saying? It was a blue collar crime, by the way. So nothing with another individual. Let's say that this was literally a blue collar crime. And I was just like, I was just so, and it was ambition. You know what I mean? It was ambition. So I was just like, nah, if God just get me through it. So I said, what can I say? I said, well, I'm graduating from high school. I'm going, she said, so I saw her sensories. So I said, okay, got her, but I got to keep her. Okay. So she starts, okay. Oh, are you going to college? And I said, of course, my mom wouldn't have it any other way. She's like, okay, perfect. Last question, which college? And I was this close to saying, well, I haven't, because mind you, this was like May of 2005. And literally this was the process of you still waiting on acceptance letters and you're still just waiting to hear from. And you actually might still be applying to some a little late, right? So you're just still in the process. I haven't received nothing yet. And literally the spirit told me, I know that it's a fib. I said, I'm going to Morgan State. It was one of the schools that I applied to, along with, honorable mentions, HU, shout out to Howard University. We appreciate you, we know, but it's Morgan all day. Virginia State, I targeted Virginia State as
Yeah.
well. Judged that energy in Virginia, and Morgan was on my list, but I haven't received nothing back. But I don't know why I
You
picked them
just
as
said that. You just said Morgan State University.
the spirit said to, mind you, my first choice, and I'll make this clear, and not off of knowing anything more about the other place, but just, immature influences. Virginia State was where I did want to go for, so like going away. I was like, yo, Virginia State. I saw the clips of the this or the I heard, but I said Morgan State, and literally she said, okay, cool. So I get out that day, like it works. But she reminds me that, hey, don't forget that we're gonna need that
The
acceptance letter.
letter. Yeah.
So, or else all of this gets stirred back up, and I lose my job. This is what she said to me. She said, make sure you have that, because she wasn't doubting me, but she did feel like making sure that I had this document,
We
because
need
now
proof.
her job is on the line, her license,
Yeah,
her everything.
absolutely.
I'm not thinking about the other person in that. I'm not that knowledgeable of, me lying right here puts her in a bad situation. But when she broke it down like that and said, yeah, make sure you have that letter, because I lose my job if we're going to have to prove that to the judge. I said,
Mm-hmm.
oh, all right, cool. So when I got home, and mom was there, by the way, at the court, she said, you told them that, because mind you, my legal aid said at the bench, she said, and might I add, Your Honor, Keyshawn Forbes is going to
To
Morgan State
Morgan State
University. A whole darn lie at the time, but not a lie, because it was real manifestation.
Yes.
So, Doc, it gets crazier. Months going by, court date after court date, they keep stretching it out. They come to some great agreement that was in my favor, where no jail time and all of it expunged from my. Only way you're going to find out about it is if I talk about it.
If you tell it.
And I don't mind talking about it, because somebody, like you said, gentleman Keyshawn, and yes, I've always been a gentleman, even while doing the crime. But I'm not perfect. People be thinking, yo, Keyshawn, yo, Flex, it's this shiny. Nah, I almost didn't make it. Y'all almost didn't see me.
My appreciation in hearing that story, because like you said, I've known you. I've known you probably since you were like a sophomore or junior at Morgan State University, because I have been that long.
0607.
0607. There we go. I've not known this story. I've never heard you say this story.
Nobody.
What I appreciate about you telling the story now is there's no shame behind going through a journey and learning from the journey and being on the right side. You said earlier on, if I could why don't I turn these bad traits into good traits? I could easily do that. So somebody's going to hear this that might not necessarily be on the best of tracks right now, and understand that that does not have to be the end of their story. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you for sharing that.
My pleasure. Real talk.
Now, are you ready for my rapid fire segment?
Come on, wrapping me up.
I'm going to rapid you up. 67. You should be a rapper or singer or something. Anyway, 67 seconds on the clock.
It's
And
funny
the time is good.
my word. I ain't gonna lie. When you getting old and you start to admit your gifts, like before everything is humble. Like no, stop. No, but I really know my wordplay is Shakespeare.
Your wordplay is amazing.
It's Shakespeare meets Jay-Z.
Shakespeare meets Jay-Z. I like that. Come up with a song though that we can hear.
Say less. I'm gonna call it the I Love My HBCU.
Add question mark to it so that we can both share it together, okay? All right, the clock starts 67 seconds after I ask the very first question.
Give it to me.
Where's your favorite place? You've lived in so many different places. Where's your favorite place to live? Why are the shades on? Where's your favorite?
Because now it's rapid.
It's rapid.
So now
go ahead.
I just want to get into rapid because you're going to see me think you're a smart lady. You're a very smart woman. So I know that you're able to read where I'm going. So right now during rapid, I feel like wearing my specs.
I don't get to see your eyes. Got it. Where's your favorite place to live?
That I've lived before?
Yes.
Oh, DC, Maryland. The DMV. Let's say it's the DMV. Yeah, I love this area.
Lovely. All right. If your time in college was a song, which song would it be?
Oh, it gotta be I'm gonna take off my glasses for this. It gotta be, that's a great question. Come on, mind you gotta understand that I don't get asked these questions. I'm the one usually doing all this is amazing. I'm in heaven.
Answer the question, Keyshawn.
Oh, the time is moving. Soul Survivor, Akon, Jeezy.
Interesting. Soul Survivor.
Yeah, that was my theme song freshman year.
Okay. Who was your favorite professor in college?
Well, of course, did you teach
No,
me?
I didn't teach you.
Oh,
Why
but
would you lie
I
like
just want
that?
to say yes. But I just want to say you because hopefully you taught me so that it made sense for this. Nah, I loved. There's too many in the School of Social Work. I mean, shout out to Professor Green,
Green,
Dr. Daniels. I'm forgetting some people, but trust me, I love everything social work. The whole social work school of social work.
the
Everybody
entire
there,
School of Social
the
Work.
entire School of Social Work.
I will give that to them. The entire School of Social Workers literally heal the world. So the entire School of Social Work. What's the best meal you had in college?
Oh shoot, is it canteen? Something in the canteen
Why are
or
you
not?
asking? You should know.
Butter crunch cookies.
Butter crunch cookies.
We're gonna go with that. That was a good snack all the time. Late coming from the spots, the late night. Yeah. Oh no! As a matter of fact, can I change it? My best meal. Shout out to Stoko's York Road. I'm going with
Stoko's.
Stoko's. I'm going with Stoko's.
Do you know, you will believe this because you know me, but one day in class, when my students were talking about being hungry, and they said that they were going to Stoko's, and I said, "What is that?" I got roasted like nobody's
But
business.
you don't remember it even then? 06, 07, 8ish? Like, you remember Sonny's? Do you remember Sonny's in Northwood? The wings and the Sunny salt right across. Next question. Nah, but just to give some context towards those two places I just said,
Yes,
Stoko's. So
absolutely.
whoever's listening and watching, Stoko's.
Yes.
The reason why I went to those as a highlight spots that were great meals because they were our Morgan State. They were our like after hour we coming from the club or something. They were our 2 a.m. chicken tenders and fries. Got us $7, 5. It was cost affordable and it did what it was supposed to do. So we wasn't mad at it. So
I
these
would
are two.
find that out in the roasting session that I got in class that day. I would find that out. So
See,
I'm
it's all
I'm
right.
grateful to that moment. I'm
It's
not
all
a
right.
big chicken eater either, so maybe
Understood.
that's why I did
Understood.
not know. But
It's not too
I got roasted badly. But I know what Stoko's is, and I know what
good.
Sunny's is now.
Good.
Yeah, you ate up all of the time. That was easily like 2 minutes, not even 67 seconds.
All
But I
good.
appreciate you.
It
I
was
appreciate you.
rapid-ish. It was rapid-ish.
Rapid-ish, rapid-ish. I absolutely love you. Um, Keyshawn, I almost want to say what I think HBCU legacy means to you, but I won't. I'm going to let you answer. But before you answer, because I want to hear your version of it, I want to say publicly, I'm sure we've all thanked you privately. I'm sure we've thanked you in different public spaces. I got to watch you during Access Orientation this past summer. And of course, that's when I got to feel the weight of this Emmy Award that I brag. I brag to everybody who has ears that Keyshawn has an Emmy Award.
Thank you.
Um, every summer, you come back.
17 years.
Every summer, I want every alumni of every and any HBCU to hear that. There are HBCU advocates, and then there's Keyshawn Forbes. No.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
summer,
Yeah.
you come back.
Mm-hmm.
And let me quickly add this. You come back to have impact on our new cohort of students about to walk the halls of Morgan State University.
Yeah.
I don't know if you realize what a legacy that actually is. So I'm going to let you tell me what you think HBCU legacy is, but I also wanted to share with you how I, as somebody who gets to observe and then gets to see those students, gets to hear them talk about something you might have said, how you made them feel during that summer. I'm going to be quiet.
No,
What's
no, you just gave me the oop of where I'm gonna go. My answer is just what you said, and what it is HBCU legacy is being invested in the next generations that's coming to your alma mater, even when you are not as invested anymore. Because we know that people go to HBCUs, colleges in general, but let's focus in, of course, HBCUs. They go, they get their degree, they might come back to a homecoming or two, a little shindig or two, and then they about their life, which is okay. We know that people do move on. School, higher learning for some people is just that. They just there to get the degree, maybe meet some friends, lifelong friends, a few, cool, and they move. HBCU legacy to me is continuing to foster and nurture that relationship with your alma mater in any way that you can, especially when it's done something to you like help save your life. Like the acceptance letter for me came 3 days before I had to prove that I was accepted to Morgan. It was 72 hours before my fate was in the hands of this one letter. Not only was I supposed to receive a letter of acceptance, but it had to be specifically from Morgan State because I said that 2-3 months prior. So the manifestation. So when that happened, this is what HBCU legacy is. The judge said when the sentencing went down and I was good, they said, "Yo, you're gonna be on a year probation." I was on probation my first year at Morgan. Nobody knows this. My freshman year was a probation year. If I got caught taking a pack of gum from 7-Eleven, the whole case gets blown up, and now I gotta face
Reinstated,
that.
yeah.
Exactly. So they made it clear to me that you're on a contingent probation because like a special case because we're not going to keep you from going to college just so that you could visit a probation officer once a week. So I didn't even have somebody checking in on me. So look at the trust that the DA and my legal aid came to an agreement. Like, you know what, he's going to college. First mistake, not even a big mistake, but still a mistake. But let's trust that he's going to do a year. His freshman year is going to be fun. The judge told me to approach the bench. This don't happen in court. Like told the me. Yeah, and this is an old Caucasian man. I'm just for context. And the bailiffs, like, you know, they're on. Wait, whoa, because they see me moving from behind. But I was told to do so. But it just was a very not awkward moment. Unusual moment happening in the court for the day. And when I walked up there, he said, "Young man, take my hand." He reached down. This is an old Caucasian man. I want to make this clear. He says, "Young man, the crime that you committed took a lot of brains. I'm gonna need you to use that brain at Morgan State for the greater good." And literally by this white man shaking a young black and brown, I literally said, "Nah, I can't." Like that was the literal moment that I said, I'm gonna go to Morgan State and that's gonna be my playground and I'm gonna excel in any way possible while being me. And that's why I went so hard at Morgan.
You did.
Was the first to win Mr. Morgan
I was
unopposed.
just about to
I
say,
didn't run against
I
nobody,
was
and that's
about to
not
go
even.
there. I was about to go there,
It's
literally.
it was because some things are destined. Like that
Yeah.
position just fit my whole existence.
Yeah.
I didn't have to change up much while being Mr. Morgan, except for I had to get my wave right. You know, I had to get the wave. You know how much my wrist hurt for that whole year.
I can't.
But nah, I didn't have to do these. So when you follow your HBCU legacy, because I'm gonna keep going to that, is when the HBCU has done something for your trajectory in life. Period. Even if it was my first time doing my own laundry freshman year. So it's like something as simple as you're 17, 18 years old, away from home for the first time, fully. Like this ain't summer camp for a month or two. This ain't, oh, I'm going to Granny's for the weekend or I'm going to see my cousins for. This is full blown a whole year, 10 months. What is a semester? The semester is what, 8 months, 9 months?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. But call it a year of you are a man now. So I wasn't going to take, and especially with my situation going into, I said, yeah, I'm not just going here. This is what HBCU legacy is. My final thing on this question. It's not just going to a HBCU and just becoming a number, like being in, oh yeah, John Doe, they came and went. No, it's making impact. HBCU legacy is having impact. Don't just go. I feel like HBCUs are super sacred and we shouldn't just go there just to get the education, but we need to go there and be able to build a community further past these years while you're in the classroom with the person. Nah, like my HBCU community is strong. And the Emmy is for a HBCU thing. Shout out to HBCU Go TV, Byron Allen's network. It's something HBCU. When it comes to this Emmy was won in a HBCU namesake and Brett for the show Spade a Spade. Go watch it now. We only did season 1. We have 5 episodes, Doc. We did 5 episodes and won an Emmy. And just to give you guys a little exclusive, they're not gonna kill me if I say this. Just know that we were building the plane while we were flying it.
I
We were flying
understand.
the plane,
I
but
understand
we was figuring it
exactly.
out. We was figuring it out as we was going along the way. We not even thinking Emmy and all. We just wanted to make a great product each episode.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? 5 episodes, first try, shot. We got nominated. I was grateful to even be nominated because Emmy nominated whatever is a thing too. It's a super thing.
Absolutely.
So then when they told us that we won, I
We're
said,
like, are you
well,
serious?
but guess what, Doc? I was like, are you serious? But also I was like, duh.
We know the
duh.
work we
It
put
was
into it.
like I could go either way with it.
Absolutely.
Like, whoa, crazy, but also, yeah, that's right. You know, that's right. It
That's
sounds about right.
amazing. That's amazing.
But that's
That is
HBCU legacy.
amazing. That is amazing, but I'm going to keep on saying this. I'm going to keep on saying this for every human out there who's an HBCU alum, who's always asking, but how do I give back? 17 years, 17 summers, this gentleman comes back to his alma mater to pour into the students. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it does take a lot of time, because time is relative depending on how you see it. 17 years.
Because it's just important. It's important. Sorry for that.
That's
it's
okay.
Just important.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm still
Keyshawn,
at a studio. So. I'm still at a studio. So
you are. I mean, those who get to watch this, those who get to watch this as opposed to just listening to it, there is a lovely cutout of Keyshawn behind him with DTLR radio. How old were you in that cutout?
That cutout, so I got with DTLR radio 2013. That's probably 13 or 14. That's 10 years ago.
And it looks exactly like you now. Look at you aging so beautifully.
Yeah, yo, drinking my water, Doc. I'm drinking my water. I'm working out. I'm working
out. Yes, yes. Keyshawn, you've said so much that, in all fairness, I'm not asking you any questions. We're just talking. But I do want to know, though, especially the Keyshawn that we get to see now, and the Keyshawn that I thought I knew, but there are these gems of information that you're sharing today that I did not know about. Your freshman self, what would you tell him?
It's okay to not know. It's okay to not know, because freshman year can be very overwhelming. I mean, a lot of people.
Keyshawn, I'm going to interrupt you. I need you to say it again, and say it slowly, especially for those who might be in the kitchen and those who might be in the living room and are not right by this particular episode to hear you. Say it again and say it slowly.
It's okay not to know.
Thank you.
It's okay not to know. Yo, freshman year can be intimidating. I mean, for look, you always have a bunch. There's buckets of people in the world. There's youngins that go to college, HBCUs, and they're ecstatic to be away from their family, because everybody's coming from a certain situation in their household as a high schooler. So some are ecstatic to be away, and they need that to be able to. Some people are terrified. Some people don't even know. In O'Connell Hall, shout out to OC at Morgan State. I cried when my mom, my sister, my uncle, church friends, a couple, they came to move me down. When they and mom was like, "You good?" And mind you, remember what I'm just coming off of.
Absolutely.
Right. So, and what I'm dealing with, I got to do a freshman year on probation.
On probation.
I can't, you understand? I can't fully explore this universe. I have to have some type of leash on me, and I'm actually grateful for that. Because if I didn't have that in the back of my mind when I could have been involved with certain freshman type of stuff, like exploring, and you know what I'm talking about, Doc. Like, and which is a crazy list of stuff. I said it was always the probation, and it just helped. It helped train me to have fun, but organized fun, not too much fun, balance, prioritize. I'm not wasting mom's bread because I want to cut class and have fun with you. What am I doing? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So. My freshman self, it's okay not to know, because it'll come to you as long as you know what it is okay to know. It's to know yourself.
Mm,
And
mm.
once you know yourself, 'cause a lot of people go to college too, and they trying to figure it out. They trying to associate themselves with organizations to give them identity instead of them bringing that value to the organization and paying it forward and keeping the name of the leg. But that's for another day. That's for a whole nother day. Once you know yourself, then you're a magnet, and you're paying attention. Once you're aware, then you know what to lean more into and what to shy away from. I've been always good with the balance of life like that.
Thank you. Anything you've said today is what you would say to your freshman self. Like, so
Yeah,
far, so good.
yeah.
Seriously, all of that you would say to your freshman self. But I like the fact that your wordplay. You weren't joking. Your wordplay. I
Yo,
like the fact that you still gave us a catchphrase that I hope a lot. I can't with these sunglasses. I really hope that your catchphrase that you gave us, it's okay to not know, that sinks in to the recesses of the souls of every freshman and every sophomore, because too many of them that I run into kind of want to impress upon you that they
mm-hmm,
know.
mm-hmm,
But who's expecting you to know? No,
mm-hmm,
no, we're not even expecting you to know.
mm-hmm.
And if you kind of just leaned into the fact that you don't know, the likelihood of you finding yourself a little bit sooner actually happens a little bit faster.
A wise man knows that he knows nothing.
There
You
you
know that.
go. You are the definition. If there's HBCU made, it's Keyshawn Forbes from everything that I've heard today. But you know that part of my show has to deal with holding all of us accountable to our HBCUs being here longer than today.
Yeah.
So even though I know most of what you have to say, or all of what you have to say that you're willing to share most publicly, is positive about your experiences at HBCUs, I'm not asking for anything negative. What I
Mm-hmm.
am asking for is, if there's something that you see that you think we could be doing better at, because the whole idea is for all of us to become better, do better, be better. What would you say it is? And it doesn't have to be specific to Morgan. It could be all HBCUs or just the idea of HBCUs. It's entirely up to you. But what could we be doing better? What is a challenge that you're like, man, I wish you guys would get this right. I wish you guys would do this a little bit differently from an alum's perspective.
Intentionally keeping tradition alive.
I love that.
Intentionally keeping because as you know what I'm saying, like we went, like going back to, and I'm using Morgan as an example, and I shout out to all the HBCUs, by the way, because I keep on forgetting that this is just about that this is fully about HBCUs.
It's
and
not Morgan.
It's not just about, but we rep Morgan so hard. So but it's literally the tradition, because we're seeing Morgan has so many big buildings now and all these different resources, and it's the national treasure, and it's the this, that, the third. And yo, trust me, we are here as alum, like, yo, go, get it better than what we had. That's the point too. That's legacy. That they shouldn't have to deal with what we had to deal with in O'Connell Hall in 05. Like, and don't let me go, like, we showering with slippers, and it's just so it was but that's. So, of course, I want the new freshmen in 2023, 2024 to say, yo, my freshman year was amazing because of the experience on every touch point. So what I'm saying is we got to be intentional about keeping the tradition while we getting all these big buildings and and now it's Magic Johnson came up to Morgan the other day. I saw that.
We have Sedexa Magic at Morgan. Yeah.
And that's cute. Like when I see, and my mom is sending me these articles sometimes, like, you see what Morgan did? I'm like, oh, I didn't even catch that. Oh, so it's a village, right? So I'm happy, but at the same time that we have these highlightable, high profile moments and let's not forget the tradition of what a HBCU is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an art to infusing the now, meaning being modern and everything with today, but keeping that, because the HBCUs gotta feel like school days. It gotta feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gotta feel like those movies that we watch. That's why we was interested in HBCUs. A lot of us is we saw School Days. Shout out to Spike Lee. We got to give it up to Spike, 40 Acres and a Mule, because for the culture, that was one of our biggest touch points to even see what a higher learning looks like for Black and brown specific people, or it caters to us. We don't have that. We're not even supposed to make it to college, most of us, where we're coming from and whatnot, in impoverished communities, and just making it to college. But there's a whole college community called HBCUs. Just of course, I feel like it should be mandatory for Black and brown people to consider a HBCU when they're going to higher learning.
Wow.
It's an experience like none other, Doc. My
I
sis-
agree. I
my sister
agree.
went to Temple. Shout out to Temple. Where I know it's not an HBCU, but let me just give a shameless plug to the Cherry and White. The Cherry and White, because it's in Philly. I used to go up there to pick up my sister, or move her around and stuff like that. So that Temple, I always mention this. That my sister, she held high positions there too. She was an RA just like I was, and my brother was. She was a this, that, like great. But she always says if there's one thing, like if you would have asked her a question like, would you have HBCU experience? Because she came to
HBCU.
Morgan's homecoming. Yo, Mel,
Yeah.
you should come to the home. It's a total different experience
Different.
when you are a
Yeah.
Black and brown person at a HBCU.
I
It just
hear you
is.
describing a feeling, and I don't even think it's a feeling that one can put actual words on, because I'm listening to you and I'm getting this feel that you walk onto an HBCU campus and you feel this tradition, and we
Mhm.
must keep that feeling
Yeah.
alive.
Mhm.
No matter how much progress we make
Mhm.
along the way. Keyshawn, finish the sentence for me. In 10 years, Morgan State University will
have been blessed with me speaking at a commencement. That's what you don't even know this, and this is a hot off the press. I've never said this publicly, but my family and close friends, they know this because I say it all the time. I say, yo, guys, I don't really have goals, and we could get into that too, Doc, where it's not goals. I just follow the spirit and then I just go. But I do have something that I'm putting into the world for the past probably 3-4 since COVID. It really came to me where I was like, yo, Morgan means so much to me. And I said, yo, it would mean a lot to me from a personal accomplishment. I usually don't do this for myself, like I said, yo, I would love to speak at Morgan's commencement before I'm 40. That it is specific. I mean, I want to be, because I really know what that will do for the youngin that's about to graduate, that's 20, 21, 22. Like, yo, ain't Keyshawn, they figure, ain't he 36, 37, whatever I am at that time. He's not even 40 yet, and he can do that. So that's a real big. So Dr. Wilson, if you're listening, the board committee, whoever is, I am putting it out there. I'm not waiting for the phone call. I am putting it out there that I would be most honored to, and I think it would really resonate with our student. And I think the Emmy helps make my case. You know what I'm saying? Because
He is
they need.
pitching this. He is pitching
Doc,
this. I love it.
that they be wanting the accolade. You do have to be well accomplished. So I'm
Facts
just,
upon
and I
facts.
do know that I am, but the Emmy should be enough for the voting of yes to Keyshawn King Flexxa Forbes, his story, especially when I hope they hear this story. The whole Morgan, though, when I was Mr. Morgan, nobody knew that I almost didn't make it a Morgan. Y'all almost didn't even see me. I was not even gonna be this. That was gonna stifle my natural ability. Do you understand? There would have been no King Flex. I'm 35 now. I'm not ashamed. The goal is to grow old. I'll say it again. So to the youngins that always want to keep their age all inconspicuous and all type of unknown, I am a firm believer of the goal is to grow old, because that's just a number. Literally, it's just a number. How are you operating? There are people my age that are still in college here. It's a bad energy. Yes, I want better for our people. So in 10 years, I didn't forget the question. I'm gonna finish this. In 10 years, I already spoke at one for sure, but bring me back again. I'll do a remix. 2. I want 2 in 10 years. 2 times that.
I have
Yep.
I don't get a vote. I do not get a
But you
vote.
have influence, Doc. There is an influence. So nudge who you gotta nudge
However,
for me. Nudge who you gotta nudge for me.
Keyshawn Forbes, I am going to gladly nudge whoever I need to nudge. And I'm going to mention it directly to the president, whether it happens next year, whether it happens the year after.
Take your time.
The reality is this: you would make a powerful commencement speaker at Morgan State University. And like you said earlier, it would resonate. Keyshawn, what project are you working on that the audience deserves to know about?
Couple things. I'm working on the project that never stops, which is myself, always. So I'm constantly in cohort with my consciousness and what my fortress is the most important thing, one of the most important things to me. Where I just 2020 COVID quarantine really created a invisible fortress where negativity doesn't even swim my way. And I'm grateful because I know people be having a box with negativity all day, and I've had my moments, but overall, like I'm grounded in working on me. I'm a self-improvement junkie. You understand? Like I'm a real, and I don't
Always
want to use
working on you.
you know what I'm saying? Always work in every elevation of like the Emmy now, which I got family hitting me up with the and it just, and people from my neighborhoods in Brooklyn, like, and just Morgan, my whole Morgan family, they're like, but they're like, I do feel a rooting energy from my Morgan community. I do, and Doc, I know you one of the ones leading the charge. Mr. James too. Shout out to Mr. James, my OG. Let me just say that.
Oh, yes.
He influenced my freshman, my whole everything's at Morgan for a long time. When I hollered at him freshman year when he spoke to my class, and I took the time out. And I want to say this to any students that are listening: yo, it's okay to turn off your cool. Nobody's too
Oh,
cool. Nobody's too
yes.
cool for event. If I didn't, when Mr. James spoke at our freshman class orientation, and Mr. James is swagger.
Yes.
Mr. James, especially back then, like my man was the sharpest and the slickest
Even
talker.
now.
Even that,
now.
still. But he was really inspirational on our class, and me being the ambitious person I am, I said, I'm gonna follow him to his office. I gotta holler at him. He's gonna get to know me. And I approached him with the energy like, yo, Mr. James, I love what you said in the class. I would love for us to, I didn't know how to ask him to be my mentor.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to, say that, but he got what I was getting at. He felt my vibe too, and we inseparable ever since. That's my real live OG.
I am going to have you leave our audience with a short word or phrase on why you love your HBCUs. He's going to give us like an amazing wordplay. I can feel it. I
love my HBCU because I'm supposed to.
Enough said. Enough said. Enough said. Because we can have an entire 1 hour show just on that response alone.
It's for us. It's for us.
I'm supposed to. We have to.
This is FUBU all over again for us by us.
I love it. I love it. Keyshawn Forbes, you are family. King Flexxa, as everybody else knows you. Emmy Award Winning Host. I love the fact that his sunglasses are back on.
Did you realize my real name and my nickname are both KF? And I didn't realize that till later on.
That was not intentional. Are you sure?
Scout's honor. It was not intentional. That is crazy. And it fell in my head when I did realize. I was like, oh, KF. My abbreviation is the same. Blah blah blah. It was like little giddy moment.
It's the spirit. We're gonna give credit to the spirit for doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
I love you. I say this to you one-on-one. I say this publicly. And I know people are like, Tosin, just know I don't waste words. I love you. I love who you have become for us. I love who you are becoming for yourself. I know the audience can tell from our conversation that if we wanted to, we could literally talk all day. Yeah, and you'll be dropping nothing but gems every single step of the way. He's like, I'm going to relax. But we don't have all day to talk. So I want to thank you for joining us. And I want to thank the audience. I hope I have earned the pleasure of you liking and subscribing. I love my HBCU ? Yours in HBCU love people. See you next episode.
One love.
You've been listening to I Love My HBCU ? Let's keep the conversation going as we share our stories and encourage more practical support of HBCUs, whilst of course holding each other accountable. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for the latest episodes. Until next time, love and lift your HBCU.